Hey, what's up you guys? Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name's Tara and I make videos about digital planning and different ways that you can get creative with your iPad. So, if that sounds like something that's of interest to you, feel free to hit the subscribe button and ring the notification bell so that you never miss a video. That all being said, let's go ahead and jump into the purpose of today's video, which most of you already know because you clicked on this video. It is going to be going over my release of my April sticker set. So, the theme that my Patreon patrons chose this month is Flower Garden. So, if you do want to be a part of that voting process, I always leave a link to my Patreon memberships down below and you can check out which tiers work best for you. But if you're just here to check out the video, that's totally fine too. I'm happy to have you here. Let's go ahead and start going over what these stickers look like. So as many of you know, every single month I always have 2 pages of functional stickers that are the same every single month. So that is this page and this page. The only thing that changes are occasionally I might do something different with like the paper clips down here, with the rainbows, and I do always change the washi tape. So let's start by taking a look at that. With this washi tape, I wanted to, of course, stick with the Flower Garden vibe. So we do have these cute little sort of psychedelic interweaving, like meshed together flowers, if you want to call them that. I actually already used this particular pattern on my spoon flower shop, but I really love it and I thought I could kind of repurpose it for our sticker sets. And I ended up changing the color of the flowers to white, and I think it's giving this sort of like lace vibe that I just really, really love. It seems so like delicate and beautiful. And then here we kind of got this like wildflower garden kind of vibe, which I also think is really cute, and I hope you guys like this one. And then we've got something a little bit subtler, which is going to be this sort of like honeycomb vibe. So I felt like these all seemed appropriate for the Flower Garden vibe, so I personally really like them. I hope you guys do too. But let's go ahead and jump onto the page that everyone has been waiting for, which is, of course, the themed page. So here is the theme page. Here's our Flower Garden page. I think these are going to be so beautiful. I actually did create a pattern for a notebook entry, and I'll actually share that with you guys. But I used a lot of these elements in order to create that, and I just think that it's so cute. Okay, so this is what the pattern looked like in Procreate. The colors aren't really being done justice on camera, but you'll see those soon, especially if you are part of my Blossom Bunch or Lavender League or Sunflower Squad, because this is also the same color palette, little sneak peek at what the third color palette is. Here's what it looks like on a mock-up, but again, the colors aren't really being done justice. Anyway, this is super cute, and I am going to make this available on my Spoonflower shop as well. But all I did to create that was I used these beautiful stickers here to turn them into a pattern by using Affinity Designer, which I am a big fan of that program, and if you guys don't know about it, I have some exciting news coming at the end of the video, so be sure to stay tuned. But yeah, I just thought these wildflower garden elements were so beautiful, and I thought that they made a really cute pattern. And so I'm really looking forward to seeing how they can be applied in our planners next month. But anyway, there's some cute little honeycomb hexagons that I thought would be fun. We've got a few quotes here. Grow through what you go through, bloom where you are planted, and to plant a garden is to believe in tomorrow. And then we've got our little bee and our ladybug. We've got this cute little path. I'm not quite sure how I'm going to use that yet, but I think it's very cute. We've got a little picket fence, some snails, this watering can, a hose, some tools, a cute hat, butterflies, dragonflies. This is probably my favorite. I absolutely love the way that this watering pot looks, or watering can looks, with these flowers inside of it. I fell in love. The moment I put these together, I was like, okay, this sticker set's gonna be adorable. Cannot wait. And then we've got these worms, and then I hear you, I hear you, I hear you. I occasionally forget, but I didn't this time. We have the word April in here as a sticker that you can use in your planner this month. And then the rest are just the random flowers, and I just think that they are so cute. Okay, so this, what you're looking at right now, is the very first color palette. So for anyone who is a paid member on Patreon, you get access to this already. They've already been shared. But if you are in the Blossom Bunch or above, you get access to all 3 of the sticker sets I'm going to be sharing today. And so let's go ahead and jump into the next 2 color palettes. So this one is a little bit more bright and fun, especially with this it's like a hot pink almost, but it leans a little more red than a hot pink, but it's a lot of fun. This was the second most popular in the voting on Patreon. And so just briefly, we'll take a quick look. This is what the honeycomb pattern looks like. This is what our sort of psychedelic lacy washi tape looks like. And then here, I think these are really beautiful. I love these in this particular pattern. I think my favorite is either this red one or maybe this like aqua color. I just think they're so pretty. I'm a big fan of floral patterns, so this makes me happy. Okay, and the one thing that I did differently here was I actually made our little bee yellow because I couldn't even come close to making it look kind of decent with this color palette. It just looked really weird with these colors, as I'm sure you can imagine. But yeah, everything else is the same. I really like this as well. I think this gives a pretty good like vibe of what all the colors look like together. And this is actually the element that I used to let my Patreon patrons vote on the color palettes this month. So, like I said, this one was second most popular. Super adorable. I love it. And then for our third one, let's go ahead and check that out. This is, like I said, the color palette that I used to create the patterns that I showed you earlier, the ones that I used in that mock-up for that notebook. Personally, this one is my favorite. And this one was the third most popular one in the voting process on Patreon. And it's just so cute. So here we've got our honeycombs, our little lacy psychedelic flowers, and our wildflower washies. So beautiful. Okay, and then, of course, the theme page, our last page that we're going to be going over today. So everything's the same, just in this color palette. And yeah, maybe if I show you this, you'll see why I totally fell in love with these colors together. And I was like, I have to use that as a pattern. Just really loved it. I also think that this one goes the best, like naturally with everything. So like the bee looks pretty good. The hat here, the gardening hat, looks good. At least for my taste. I love it. I do always suspend reality a little bit in my sticker sets when I'm choosing the color palettes, and just as long as they go together, I'm fine with it. Like I don't feel like I need to usually change an element like a bumblebee or a hat to make it look like a certain color. I might occasionally add in grays, like of course down here, but I typically stick to the 4 colors that were voted on, the 4 colors that are decided, and so it's very rare that I'll go in and actually change one of those things. But like I said, I did change the bees a couple times just because they were looking really funky. I didn't like the bees in the other colors. But there you have it. There's a little bit of insight into what went on in my mind as I was creating these, how I got to the color palettes. Thank you, Patreon. And links to all of these, as always, will be in the description if you want to check them out yourselves. But the one last thing that I wanted to do, my big announcement for this video, is that I am this close to launching my sticker making course. So you heard me mention Affinity Designer earlier in this video, and maybe you've never used it before. Maybe it seems like it's just too much. You're not a graphic designer. You're like, no, I'm good. I can't handle that, you know? I felt terrified by Affinity Designer at first, but the truth is, it is such a great way to help you kind of get into the design world, learning how to use vectors without having to learn a program like Adobe Illustrator and spend a ton of money. Now, I would just like to preface all of this by saying I love Procreate, I love Affinity Designer, and I love Adobe Illustrator. I use all of these programs, but Affinity Designer has such a low barrier to entry if you think about it when you consider everything this app can do. And so my course is going to be all about how we use Affinity Designer to make sticker sets like this in a way that saves you just so much time. I used to make all my sticker sets in Procreate, and it got to the point where I was just like, I can't. This is too time consuming. It's too draining. I want to do the creative part. And so what my design process used to look like was about 10% creativity and then 90% all of the obnoxious work that goes into cropping, renaming, recoloring, etc. Whereas now, with this system that I've developed in Affinity Designer, it is quite the opposite. I spend, 90% of my time doing the actual creative design work that I like, and then I spend 10% of that time doing all the more administrative part. And it's basically automated, which is the coolest part. And so I'm just so excited to share that with you guys. So if you've made it to the end of this video and you want to know more about that course, get all the updates, participate in any surveys, I am launching it within a month, and oh my gosh, I'm so excited, but I'm going to be offering a hugely discounted rate to everyone who's going to be part of my founding members club, the sort of like beta launch as I launch it for the very first time and get feedback on what I can do to improve it. And so this price, it will never be at this price anymore. And so if you want these updates, please make sure that you click on the link below. I'll put it at the top of the description so there's no confusion in finding it. But basically, if you click on that link, you will get all of the updates about the course. There is a step that you have to do though. I have my email set up as a double opt-in to make sure I'm not spamming anyone who doesn't want my emails. And so once you subscribe to the email, you should get something fairly automatically within several minutes from ConvertKit that you'll go and opt in to my emails. So once you've done that, then you'll start receiving my emails. I've had a few people who I know have reached out to me on YouTube and Instagram who have wanted access to my emails, and it just shows they've only done half the process. So please make sure that you do that yourself if you are interested in participating in this course and being a part of this founding launch that I'm so excited for. Okay, that is where I'm going to leave this. I did also leave a little poll, sort of unrelated, on my community tab if any of you want to check it out. I have a podcast that I occasionally do just for fun, and it's not related to my art all that much. I do occasionally talk about art stuff, but for the most part, it's about things that are just important to me in general in my life. And I know some people on social media really want this like all-encompassing view of the creators essentially, but if you feel like I should just stick to only sticker related stuff or only iPad related stuff, then like let me know in that poll. But if you are interested, I was considering putting some of that content onto YouTube as a way for this audience to access if you guys are interested. So if you do have a minute and you want to take a vote, I would really appreciate hearing from you. But okay, yes, all announcements, that's done. Everything's finished, and I am super excited for all of this. Can't wait for you guys to use these stickers. Can't wait to launch this course, and I can't wait to maybe possibly be sharing more of my life in general with you guys via my podcast. So that being said, that's where we're going to leave this video. Thank you all so much for tuning in. I really appreciate you. You're all the best. You know that I love you, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!